Hello and welcome to In Conversation with the one-hour mentor, Anaggh Desai. Anaggh Desai has been a suit for 30 years before he turned mentor, coach and founder of the one-hour mentor and OnePlus 99 Experience Consulting. You can learn more about him across social media platforms as @Anaggh. This is a casual conversation with professionals from various fields. We ask them about their life journey and attempt to gather lessons from their triumphs and failures. This recorded show is accessible on YouTube and other platforms. So let's begin our conversation with the one-hour mentor, Anaggh Desai.
Our guest on the show today is Chintan Vora, who runs Digital Latte, a mid-sized agency which he started with a co-founder 8 years ago. They have successfully done business with sports, new age industries, and much more. Welcome to the show, Chintan.
Hi, Anaggh. How are you?
Good, Chintan. How are you doing?
Very good, very good.
So, how's the enforced lockdown treating you?
Well, like everyone else, I guess. Work-wise, nothing has been impacted for us, luckily, and the operations are, going smoothly. But yeah, personally, it is like going out, meeting people, meeting clients. That is something that we all are missing, I guess.
Okay, so a quick question. If I remember correctly, you said your wife worked in the medical or the pharma or laboratory or something
Yes,
is
yes,
what I
she is
remember.
R&D, this thing, assistant manager with Jyoti Laboratories.
So is
So
she impacted by this? Does she have to go to work compulsory or?
no, no.
Uh,
So she is not going to work. So they come under the FMCG brands.
oh,
So it's
okay.
non-essential. She's also working from home. More of literature study, project reports, and those kind of
Okay.
stuff that is going with them.
Because I thought everybody remotely to R&D also must be, working really hard to factor in.
So yeah, they are working full time. In fact, she's also putting in around 10, 12 hours in a day.
Uh,
But those is like not the actual research work, but more of
no. What I meant was not the COVID research. I'm
mhm.
talking about the post-COVID. The FMCG will have to up its game.
Agreed. So yeah, that's
So,
what is going on with them also.
so how do they create a differentiator, and how do they probably be the first in the market to launch and stuff like that, which would possibly be causing more pressure than a normal 9 to 7 job
Agreed.
kind of a thing.
That's true. That's true. In fact, they are putting in all those extra efforts, studying new products, new launches that can be done, and uh, every company today is wisely using this time so that since any which
Correct.
ways they are going to pay the employees, they are working from home, and a lot the actual work probably cannot be done, but you can do the groundwork for the future. So I guess most of the companies are doing that only.
So how many people in your family?
We have 5 people in my family.
So how many
So
of you get on each other's nerves?
not till date, I guess. Small it a bit here, but I guess COVID has taught us to live in harmony because we know that there is no other option. You can't run out and steam off for a couple of hours or so.
But then how has your dad taken it, given that he would love his newspapers and talking to people and all that? How is he taking the enforced rest?
Surprisingly, I thought it was the most difficult for the parents because for us, work is keeping us busy. His
That's
work
right.
is normally offline,
That's
so
correct.
he is way too more idle than what I would be, or my wife or my brother would be. And the second thing is, for us, we are still digitally connected. We go on video calls with friends. We are doing hangout calls with the team and everything. But for them, it is just few calls here or there. Mm, but they also started learning and adapting to this new lifestyle, I would call. There are some WhatsApp games that in the family groups, and everyone they play sometimes a couple of times in a week. This mom that spends time, sometimes they play cards, they are watching some Ramayan for a change. My dad started reading one of the book that I was reading about Mahabharata, and he said, "Is the language good enough for us?" I said, "Definitely." And since he knew about the Mahabharata, and he started reading, and he's enjoying. So that's a delightful change. Instead of a
So,
newspaper which comes on a WhatsApp, of course,
correct,
he's
correct, correct,
now
correct.
reading the books. So that is something which is interesting.
That's quite interesting because most of the people I have spoken to, nearly now 30 odd people,
Hmm.
um, most of them said that we were worried that we would start fighting and get on each other's toes. But everybody says surprisingly that has not happened.
That's nice to know. In fact,
Which again brings back to us as a culture that I think we are the most forgiving and adjusting culture. Like in a Bombay second class compartment when you used to travel in college, and चार आदमी already बैठा है, तो भी the fifth person will say आके बेटा थोड़ा थोड़ा अंदर जाना, थोड़ा अंदर जाना, and
that's
we
true.
still used to do it. So I guess the family is also similar in some ways.
Agreed. In fact, I guess more people, the bigger your family, more you're acquainted to adjusting, because you
Right.
already have been living in that kind of environment.
Correct.
So that's one what you call, you hit the right nail. I would say that by saying
So, okay, let's come down to the main questions why you are here.
definitely.
It is this is basically my old podcast, which podcast could not happen. So I said let's begin with Zoom. So this is
Hmm.
all common people in conversation. Uh, every single person who appears here, I have first met them digitally.
That's interesting.
Okay, so out of the 140 odd invites I sent, 110 have accepted.
Oh.
So whilst I didn't expect so many to respond and accept, I thought 50, 40. So now I'm trying to juggle around with people into, breaking them into season and what kind of people and all that. But most of the people I asked what is the kind of learning you would like, or what is the kind of person you would. Everybody says that we would like to hear about a story about everybody's life, whether that is a 19-year-old intern who I interviewed, or a 50-year-old trainer who I interviewed, saying that what is the journey they have undertaken, and what is their uh, one of the largest mistakes which they either regret or they have come out of it. So laying that as a background, can you share what your professional to entrepreneurial journey has been like?
Sure. So I actually, if you ask me, my graduation was in microbiology,
Okay.
which and then I went on to do my MBA,
Okay.
where I was like coming from a Gujarati family, stock market and money is everything that always is a point of discussion during family meets. So I was very keen to do my MBA in finance, but during my first 3 months, and I coming from a science background, while a lot of commerce background, commerce students, they were so very well acquainted with the balance sheets, tallying the balance sheets, the credit debit, which for me everything was new. But I was very keen, and surprisingly, I was able to tally the balance sheets in our exams and everything, which was a good thing for me, and I was very happy. But after that, I attended a marketing workshop that was going on in the college. I said, okay, for the heck of it, I'll go and sit there to learn something new. and it interested me so much that eventually I decided to pursue marketing as a career rather than going for finance. And that was a huge what do you call turning point in my life. And during my marketing, I used to study different case studies and everything that was going on apart from what was a part of our curricula. And I had decided that I don't want to be a part of a financial organization, where, because I had seen that a lot of MBAs used to get jobs as business analyst, coming from a marketing domain. And I wanted to somehow go to the advertising part of it, because that is what was catching up, or was something that was exciting for me. But everyone told me that if you're going to go to advertising, the entry salary is too low. No one hires an MBA, because MBA has aspirations of high salaries, while your advertising agencies offer you around 15,000-18,000. So even if you are very much interested, probably they might still not pick you up, because they know that today or tomorrow you're going to leave. And I'm saying that when I started my MBA, I was not sure about advertising in the first place, marketing in the first place. Advertising was the second thought. So there are, of course, a lot of colleges which are specific for advertising students, but I was not from that institute, one of those institutes. And for next few months, I got a lot of job offers after my MBA, and I never took up, because it was non-advertising jobs. And while I still kept appearing for all the interviews to learn and understand the process, what happened was, during one of the interviews, I got a call from another agency, and they said, you had applied on AFAX, so can you come tomorrow? And I said, okay. I knew that they were based in Andheri, and I was at an interview at Santa Cruz. So I said, I'm in the middle of an interview. I've done one round of interview, and I have one more round. So if you want, I can come today. Then the HR said, okay, wait, I'll confirm you within 30 minutes. So after my interview, I called her back, and she said, okay, you can come back by 6:30. And it was around 5 o'clock at that point of time. I said, it's okay. I would rather wait for 30 minutes or so, rather than coming back all the way to Andheri tomorrow.
Again, yeah.
And I went over there during the first round of interview was like pretty much all the summary of all the questions that has been asked to me over all the interviews that had appeared for. So for me, it looked more like I knew all the answers and what was the expected answers kind of thing. And I was shortlisted for the next round. The CEO and the founder of the company had come to interview me, and they asked me, okay, Chintan, tell me, which are your favorite websites? I said, I like Cricinfo, because I myself was a professional cricketer, and I am passionate about cricket as a sport. So Cricinfo gives me, I love the articles, I love the videos, and of course the live scorecard that is there during the matches when I'm not viewing them. I can follow the scores here. And I said second I said Britannia, because at that point of time, when you went to Britannia's website and you clicked on any of the tabs, there was a jingle that used to play, which is ting, ting, ting. So I said, it is a pretty good recall for me. Whenever I used to hear that jingle, it is short, it is sweet, and there's a brand recall that happened. And to cut the long story short, it was a digital agency. And second thing, they were handling clients like Royal Challengers Bangalore and Britannia as their client, and they were looking for someone to handle those two brands. So I was probably kind of, the right fit, not only because I mentioned those two websites, but owing to my background and everything that I answered during the interview. So that's how my digital journey started. But
You worked there for what, 2 years?
2 years.
And then one fine day you said, I think I can make this much money by branching out on my own, kind of a story.
Not exactly. So what happened was, after my first job, I had shifted to another agency where I was doing pretty much everything from start to end, right from business development, working on client pitches, and also managing the brands, and managing a team of 12 people. So during this time, one of the founder of the earlier company who had hired me, he had started something of his own, and there was a company who had asked him that, okay, do you want to pitch? You guys should pitch for digital. We are launching in India, and I want you guys to pitch. And he was very clear that he didn't want it to be a part of the social media industry, because it was more of commoditized at that point of time. This I'm talking back in 2011. So he called 2-3 of us and saying that this is what I am doing, and someone in the industry has pushed us very hard to pitch. So do you guys have the bandwidth? You can contribute. We can work together after your office hours, if you can come, or on a Saturday or something, if you guys want to. And 3 of us were there, and we were helping, working on the pitch and everything. During that point of time, I thought, since we are, not doing this is exciting for us. At the same time, I was doing virtually everything in my other company. So then that is where I had met Dipti, my founding partner. And I proposed this idea to her, and she said, yeah, this sounds interesting. I'm in for it. I was not expecting a definite yes in the first meeting, and she said yes. I can discuss with my family, and they said yes. So like, this was again, not expected. I thought someone might object somewhere, but there was no objection anywhere. And then I talked to my this ex-boss and said, hey, this is what we are planning. And he said, if you want, you can come work with us. You can have a separate division here, and we can overlook that. I said, no, that defeats the purpose, because if we know that we are going to fail and we have somewhere to fall back. Then that is something I would never be taking those risks, or I would not come out of my comfort zones, and that defeats the purpose. So he said, yeah, then I understand, you can go ahead and start your own agency, but just as a word of advice, digital is getting commoditized. So be careful of what you are going to do. Today what you are selling for 50 rupees, someone else is selling for 20 rupees, and someone is selling for probably 70 rupees. So how are you going to differentiate is going to be the key in the long term. And those words stuck with us. And even when I left my job, I was still working while these discussions were happening with my company.
This mood and the launch of your agency was 2011.
Yes, December 2011.
And you started very clearly with that if I fail, I fail, but I will not be a part of a larger agency.
Yes.
Okay, so they began with what, 2-3 of you to begin with?
So only 2 of us, me and Dipti. Okay. And how it worked also was that while all these discussions happened, I informed my company that I'm planning to leave, and I'm starting my own agency. So that is the purpose of leaving. Nothing that I'm unhappy over here or something, but this is something that I want to do. So of course the company also was a little uncomfortable, saying that because I had all the access to clients and everything. I said, I'm okay to sign an NDA or anything that you want, and I won't approach any of your clients. So be rest assured of that. And during this period, just 10 days before my notice period getting over, one of my clients called me and saying, hey Chintan, how are you doing? I said, I'm good. He said, so I was handling his brand, and he said, I want you to come and meet someone. We are starting a business together. And so we already have a business of barbecue machines, and we sell out in Bandra via everything. So he said, why don't you come and meet me, and I want you to onboard this brand. Also, I want you to take care of this. So, but then I had to reveal it to him that, hey, the guy's name was Prahlad. And I said, Pratap. And he said, Pratap, I'm leaving the agency, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the meeting, and I'm going to introduce the next best resource. And, he will be taking over your brand. He's like, no, Chintan, the only reason I'm coming to you is I want you to work on the brand. I said, I understand, but I'm still working with the current agency, and this is how I have come in touch with you. So it would be ethically wrong for me. Luckily, I understood. I introduced him to my team members, and then we moved out. So that was on 11th of December. and sorry, I moved out on 11th of December. The conversation we had was around in 20th or 25th of November. So I get a call on 12th of December saying, "Hi, Chintan, Pratap here. You're going to start your own agency. Have you started?" I said, "Yeah." So we are just in the formation stage, and we'll be starting in 10 days. Oh, wonderful. There's one more client who is interested. Why don't you go and meet him? We went to meet him on 15th, and we got our first client on 18th of December, even before we actually started our office. So that was, I guess, what they say, that when you want to start, the entire world conspires to help you. So then we are very sure we didn't want to work from home and everything. So we already had finalized the office space and everything, and we moved into office space in a week's time while the work was getting done. And from there on, I guess,
So
we never looked back.
fast forward 2011 or 2012 to 2020 COVID.
Mm-hmm.
What has been the one single success which you remember, which is large enough to remember, and a failure which should not have been a failure, maybe for want of better preparation, or you learned a lot from that failure and moved on?
So, see, success-wise, I would still call ourselves a small company, and every client that we acquire is a huge victory. But there are two defining moments. First, remember we had met. So this was during your time at Bombay store, and the marketing manager at that time had tweeted that Bombay store was looking for an agency for a project basis, and my partner had read that tweet, and we had approached for it. But since the timeline was, we were not able to, they said their requirement was different, so they already got someone else. But immediately after that project, they called us, say that now we are looking for a full-time agency to handle the digital mandate for the Bombay store. And we were hardly 2 months into the industry, and I remember we asked for the brief and everything, and we worked very hard on the strategy presentation, and then after a few initial interactions, we were called in for a meeting. The part of the meeting where from your end there were three people. I remember the marketing manager, senior marketing manager, and you were there. Of course, I didn't knew you at that point of time, and while I was presenting on the strategy, and after that, I was expecting to getting drilled on the strategy, the numbers, and everything. Like that was a normal mandate those days. But finally, getting from you about the ground realities, the questions which were more of basic, what we were understood about the customers. Luckily, and I remember one of the questions that you asked, that Chintan, how many freebies you want, or how many gifts you are going to give away if you are going to run a contest. I said, we don't want this to be a contest driven brand, probably 10. And you said, my marketing manager asks me for 100 gifts a month. I said, no, definitely not 100, not even in a year. And I guess that's what was the core part of the structure. And we worked with Bombay store for the next 6 years. Fortunately, unfortunately, we got to work with you only for next 6 months or so. But I'm happy that we met, and we stayed connected over the years. That was one of the major defining for us as an agency, acquiring the first big brand, and we proved it that we were able to work, and we sustained it for 6 years till the time Bombay store got sold over to DMart. One other defining point was in 2015. So this is, of course, we had come down a long way since we started. We were working with around 40, 50 clients across India and US. And so we were approached by a kabaddi brand called as Puneri Paltan
Okay.
via one of their partner, and say that, they are looking for an agency. Would you be interested in pitching? So I myself, as I told you, that I was a cricket lover and a sports fanatic, and I started my career with Royal Challengers Bangalore, the RCB cricket IPL team. And those were the early days of social media. If you think about 2009, 10, when not a lot of brands were doing a lot of things on digital. So I was very keen that, sports was something that was very close to my heart, and we wanted to do something different from what was done in kabaddi, because it was at that point of time, hardly out of 8 teams there was one team which was doing good on social media. And we uh, we worked on the pitch and everything, and after multiple rounds of pitches, and it was a multi agency pitch, we won the mandate for the account. But more importantly, over next couple of years, we found ourselves handling the social digital mandate for three kabaddi teams. And Pro Kabaddi itself approaching us, saying that, because we were referred to them by one of the teams, saying they know more about kabaddi than any of your probably agencies would might know. So that was a good uh, feel factor for us, that the clients talking good about us, that we knowing their business or their industry more than them, was something that we were proud about. And sports as an industry, we were able to do a lot of good work in that particular industry. So those were
So
two defining
defining
moments
moment.
for us.
So what next? What is 2021? You will complete 10 years in 2021.
Yes. So in terms of, if you've seen in last couple of years, we have not only repositioned ourselves, because over the time, see, a lot of things has changed. Digital itself, overall the industry, has changed what the client expectations are. What we have tried to do is, in last year and half or so, we have also tried to restructure not only internally with the team, but in terms of our offerings, in terms of our working model, etc. So while digital is still a chaos for a lot of agencies, we are trying to move away from that chaos, make it more organized, and we are having more well-defined approaches. So there's something that, we all Indian businesses take pride in, that is jugaad. When something doesn't work out, Indian companies have this habit of coming up with a jugaad and to fix the solution, or have a quick fix solution. We want to do away with that. We want to have a very clear positioning that, we don't want to do jugaad. We want to offer a consolidated solution which is going to be for time. So that is about coding a website or having a strategy, but we want to have a, probably I would call it as a jugaad free approach, and no shortcuts. I know it is going to be difficult. It is going to probably cost us couple of clients somewhere, but we want to be in a space where we don't get bothered by those things, and we have a very clear and clear approach, is what I would say.
Okay, fair enough. But uh, the question still remains that would clients accept it? Because clients today are looking at three categories. One is the 20,000 rupee a month category. Second
Mm-hmm.
is that either rishtedar or a referral category in that 75,000 to 1,25,000 category.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1.5 to 10 lakh category is pitch category, marketing manager, the owner's wife or daughter or son getting involved, and owner getting involved, and all that. So, what is a single idea or thought you have that uh, in 2021, this is what is going to change? It can be for yourself wanting to attempt a change, or your industry per se attempting to change. Because I keep hearing the stalwarts say that social media is ah, okay, but what I see is um, every single brand is using Instagram and keeps posting COVID or non-COVID things onto the platform.
See, the good thing about and good thing and bad thing about social media is everyone thinks that they are expert. Today, even I have gone to client meetings and the founder of the company coming and telling me that, Chintan, I manage my Instagram account, so I know what it's how to manage Instagram. So
Correct.
it is not like we are clueless. I wanted to tell that at that point of time, managing a personal Instagram account and managing a brand has a lot of difference. But everyone thinks that they are expert, they know everything. So that is one of the biggest challenge that we are fighting today, of how to convey that what works, what does not work. There are clients who are still telling us that Chintan, we want to put 5 updates daily, and we want to put around 150, so more people see our post, more people are going to I said the more people see post, they are going to unfollow you, they are going to mark you as spam. Because today people are getting, there is a content fatigue that has happened, especially if you see in COVID. We did a small poll on our Instagram, and we asked users, a poll on Instagram and Twitter, and we asked, are they tired of the frequency of the content during this COVID lockdown? And we got 78% people saying that yes, they were exhausted with the kind of content that was coming in, and so they have started unfollowing a lot of brands. That's the kind of message. So this again brings us back to the point of what value you are adding through your post. It is not important to post daily probably, but if something that goes with your strategy, even once a day or once in a week is fine, unless you are adding value to the user. So a user is going to follow you in future only if you are adding value to your them. So either they are learning something, either they find something really appealing, something really different or creative, or they see something new that is there, what your brand is offering. Run of the mill content is out of the window if you talk in 2020, 2021. So that is a good learning that we have got. Moreover, I don't know what else
So
to.
how many, it's been what, like 6 weeks since you have been uh, at
Working from
home?
home.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how many prospects have you approached in this last 6 weeks?
We have not approached prospects, but given the time, our workload has increased, because the inflow, that the inbound queries have increased by 200% in last 6 weeks. So we have been busy catering to that. But one of the biggest concern has been that today, like while sitting at home, everyone thinks that they should go on digital because everyone is talking on digital. So there are brands who do not have budget, there are brands who are not sure what they want to do on digital. They have been calling, they want to have conference call with their management, and because their management gave them a mandate that okay, let's explore what are the other avenues of marketing. So it has been a difficult process for us also to filter down which brands are very serious, which brands are not serious, and probably which brands are not going to do anything right now, might be doing something in a year or two. But as an agency, we cannot ignore a requirement or a client who has come to us. So it is just about the priority of because we can't work on strategies day in day out. We also need to plan that accordingly. But
So
saying that, yes, we have been able to sign 4 new clients in last 6 weeks. That has been a good thing for us, or what you call it as a silver lining of this COVID.
and you were so basically looking at that, you or your team has been lucky enough that not too many people need to be retrenched or laid off, or
Nothing for like,
in the
because our
immediate
existing
future.
work. Yes, nothing in immediate future. The second thing is our existing work is already going on. The only challenge was, to get the payments on time, so that we are able to afford the salaries and able to pay the rent and other expenses. While that is a problem at the top level, nothing for the team to be worried about. That is one. Second thing is, our existing clients, now that the marketing managers know that the focus is only on digital, they have got hyperactive on digital, and we are churning out more work with the exact same retainer amount. So while I cannot blame them, and as a relationship, we also understand their requirement,
Sure,
and
sure.
we are catering to them. But yes, in fact, we have gone ahead and recruited few people. That is something what we have done during this period. Already, a couple of people have joined our team, and the entire process was done via Skype interviews, assignments, and everything. So this is for first for us also. I have never hired someone whom I have never met face to face. So but times are changing, and we are also getting acquainted to new habits, I believe.
So what if one were to find Chintan under stress? What would it be? Coffee or tea?
Of course, coffee.
And when you say coffee, are you a coffee drinker or a coffee snob or a coffee connoisseur?
I wouldn't call myself a connoisseur. I would still call myself a coffee drinker. But yes, over the years, I guess nothing to do with my love for coffee. But as we age, we start appreciating the finer things in life, is what I understand. So probably, learning or getting there.
And vada pav or pani puri?
Pani puri. I am an ardent fan of Pani Puri, so probably I have tried a lot of thelas across Mumbai, and Pani Puri is something that I can't resist.
Interesting, interesting. Out of 30, I have like 27 for pani puri and 3 for vada pav.
Oh, so there are a lot of Pani Puri lovers out
Yeah,
there.
it seems there are a lot of pani puri lovers. Thank you so much, Chintan, for spending time with us.
Thank you,
And
Anna. It has been great
yes,
interacting with you.
once
If you like this episode, like, share, and subscribe to the 1 Hour Mentor, Anaggh Desai.